back with your girls, Meesa and Meah from You Already Know. It's M&M Live Radio, and it's the moment you all have been waiting for.
Yes, that's right. Meesa repping the 757. This culture villain is pushing the boundaries of hip hop, society norms, and his faith, all with the thumbprint of his music. He has captured the hearts of his fans. And listen, he is an artist you definitely are going to want to know. His debut album, Problematic, is out right now. We're going to talk to the man behind the music right here, right now. We want to welcome a national recording artist, Kham, to the show. Kham, what's good, bro?
What's popping? I'm great. I am tremendous, phenomenal, sensational, exquisite, all that.
Welcome to the show, man. This is long overdue. Thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us here on M&M Live Radio.
For sure. Thank y'all for having me.
Of course.
Now, welcome to the show once again. We cannot say that enough, but it's only right that we have you as a guest, especially when you had us on as a guest on your podcast, the Culture Villains Podcast, hosted by you. Our bros are Josh, Travis, James. Of course, they are our fam here at M&M Live Radio. So we appreciate you for returning the favor. But tell us really quick, how has it been diving into the podcasting world these days?
It's been a journey because we, myself, Josh, KJ, even who's now on there, even Alexis, who's joined us now, we've never done anything podcast where we have to just share our opinions constantly and have these conversations. So it was a little weird at first because I was like, I don't even know how to do this. But as we've gone on, we're at episode 12 now, 13. And it's gotten more natural, I think. And we basically just kind of turned it into bringing our group chats to life, basically. So we kind of approach it like that, and it's been real. It's been real dope.
Yeah, the first podcast jitters are real, man, for real. But the best part of podcasting is when you can have that natural, genuine conversation that can just so happen bring to life for everyone to enjoy. So we're so happy for you guys, and we love that you guys have joined into the podcasting world because you guys are honestly really doing amazing when it comes to it. But listen, we feel like it was only right for us to show our support with you when it came to the album and everything, only because you've been so consistent. You put out so much great content when it comes to your artistry and your music. Definitely, especially since COVID happened, the setbacks that came with COVID. Was it kind of hard to stay motivated with no touring, no shows and things like that, but still being pushed to be creative when it comes to your rollout and merch and all things centered around the debut album?
Yeah, it was a little because right when COVID first hit, we were touring actually. We were on the Incognito tour with Mikey J, Johnny Jeff, Miles Minnick that joined us. And we were really hitting a high point. We did the Dallas show right before COVID, and that was amazing. And we were really hitting I think we really got our momentum up with it. We finally got into a nice little rhythm with it. And it was okay, this tour is basically gonna carry us out for the first half of the year. And then the second half of the year, we knew we had music coming. So we were perfect, we're gonna have stuff going. Then COVID hit, we were
I think we all were looking like that, Kham.
For a good first week, we was I know we got to shut this down. But no, it really just pushed me and even Josh too into just being creative, engaging the people that support us on social media. So Josh has been doing his retro raps. He just brought that back. I was doing Saturday 16s at the time. That really kept things going. And then just also tapping into different things virtually. We knew this thing wasn't going to sweep over us the way it was getting handled. So we knew we had to tap into some things virtually as far as virtual concerts, such as the one that went down last week there on Friday, Thursday night. So it definitely pushed us kind of out of our comfort zone, but we were able to grow from it for sure.
Well, great things have come out of your comfort zone because when I tell you your fans, a lot of people that look up to you as other artists, we have truly been tapped into all the content. Hey. I'm telling you, the content that you're rolling out has been amazing. Absolutely amazing. But listen, Kham, the debut album is finally here. It's finally here. Okay, so Kham, does it feel surreal to finally, feel that the album is out, your baby is out, even though you've released so much music prior?
Yeah, it's completely different. Releasing singles versus a whole body of work is just so different because with a single, you kind of know what you kind of can gauge the response you're probably going to get because it's just one song, but I got 11. We got 11 on this album. And for me as an artist, I've been doing this now seriously for about 5 years, but I started releasing music probably 3 years ago with Incognito in 2017. So everything's been leading up to this point, really. I've never dropped a project, a full-length album, none of that. This is the debut. So, I was anxious, but not in a negative way to get it out. I was just excited, man. And I'm still excited. I feel like I'm on cloud 9.
Yes, man, you deserve it, because I feel like you were even the rollout of everything. I love how when artists get excited, because it makes us excited for the project to come in. Like, so your excitement for it definitely read through with the marketing and everything through social media. And like, we're so excited that everyone has received the album so well. Listen, guys, your girls M&M are hanging out with national recording artist Kham, and we're talking all about his debut album, Problematic, that's out right now. So let's go ahead and get into it. So the title of the debut album is called Problematic. What inspired the title, and also even the theme overall for the whole album?
Yeah. Oh man. So to answer that question, I got to give a little context, because initially, so we started working on a project in the fall 2019, and it wasn't supposed to be an album. It did not start out as an album. It started out more so as a mixtape, kind of where we were like, all right, let's put some good just hit singles together, a nice little compilation, and just give the people a body of work, But as I started creating, the song started following this theme of just not only addressing certain issues and problems that I was seeing, but things that were like, I've experienced that have affected me and kind of molded me into the man I am today. But also addressing how to approach those things, trying to give some practicality to that. And so really we started out, we were like, okay, let's go like 5-6 songs, got that done. We were like looking at it like, we need like one more just banger, like one more hit. And so every time Travis and the guys would come back to me and be like, yeah, we need one more, I'd go make like 3. And they'd be like, these work. All right, we still need one more. So that's kind of how we ended up getting to 11. But it kind of just took shape on its own and really formed itself into the album that we have now today. So that process was crazy dope.
I could just imagine, because when Kham puts out anything, for a fact he's gonna come with the heat. He's gonna come with the metaphors. He's gonna come with the wordplay. He's gonna come he literally invests himself into his artistry. You see it on stage. You hear it in the music. You're gonna see it in all his content that he posts on social media. So big ups to you. And I know for a fact that process of dwindling down that final track list to the album was probably almost mission impossible. Right. But in the album, you even talk about how there are even problematic events that take place in our world today. So, how have those events such as the pandemic, the racial injustice, the other current events influenced the album, and how are you personally coping with them today?
It's very interesting, because like I said, the majority of the album was done in the fall of 2019. So we didn't even touch 2020 yet. But the fact that the things that I discussed on the album, even before even getting here, are still very relevant today. It just goes to show that a lot of these issues, such as you mentioned, social justice, racial injustice, these are things that aren't new at all. These are things that have plagued us, and we've kind of sat by, and we haven't applied, some of us, I would say, haven't applied the pressure needed to actually make change. And specifically on the topic of racial injustice, there's 2 songs on the album, both Thug and Botham, of course, cover that topic. And I think this year we've seen one of the larger kind of movements in regards to fighting against racial injustice we've seen in a while. And I feel like, for me personally, going through this year, it did take a toll on my mental. This is the first time I feel like I've ever dealt with any type of like mental health. Going into like right when quarantine started all the way up to, I want to say, maybe like early August, it was just kind of like this fog, this cloud. It was just like, what is going on this year? What is happening? But through that, I feel like God was able to kind of draw me closer to himself, work on me, grow me. And honestly, I feel like a new man the second half of this year. But I think using the weight that this year kind of brought on us, but taking that off and flipping it into something positive, I think it's absolutely essential. And I hope that's what people are able to kind of navigate through with this album. The album kind of gives some practical tips and things on how to do that. So.
Yeah, I honestly, I feel like that's the perfect word for 2020 is problematic. So I it's crazy how you recorded this prior, but like you said, how everything is just transpiring so well. And I just love how you're just, being so, with this album, you're able to push so many boundaries, you know what I'm saying? And to be able to have these conversations that people are not willing to have, but then also that are hesitant to have as well. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, it's like you being able to be honest and transparent about that really says a lot. So when it comes to like, people who haven't maybe heard, problematic yet, but they know that there's like, certain things that you're going to touch on and things like that. They're kind of like, man, I'm not really sure what's going to talk about. If it's going to make me feel the type of way, if I want to unfollow Kham, you know what I'm saying? Like people, because I think there are certain people who do get hesitant when it comes to certain topics, but yet they need to be heard. What would be the preface you would give somebody when it comes to them saying that they're about to put on their earbuds and about to listen to Problematic? What would you say?
Yeah, I would just encourage them to come into it with an open mind, because there's nothing on the album that's like necessarily one-sided. A lot of it is very taking into account different perspectives and different backgrounds, things like that. For example, specifically the song Thug is basically, that song more so is kind of a plea to the church about how we deal with racial injustice and things like that. But it's coming from the perspective of someone like me who has homies that aren't in the church versus the church itself, being that I've been in the church my whole life, basically. So it's like, you're not just going to get this one-sided kind of worldview. You're definitely be able to weigh the balance a bit, and then process things in your own mind. So definitely come into it open-minded. And I hope it really just stirs up conversation in people with others as they share the music and listen to the music.
I truly feel like this album is going to start a true awakening in just everybody.
An uproar. But in a great way.
Exactly. It's like not just in a Black sense, not just in a white sense, but just like, music lovers in general, Jesus lovers in general, even, other people that happen to believe different from you.
But even you encourage other artists to be transparent in their music for what thing, for how they feel.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, when you said that specifically, like, because this album isn't only on just like one problematic topic, It's not just on race. We touch on education, or I touch on education in there, because education growing up was a huge factor in my life in terms of me going from someone who didn't really have a lot of self-confidence to self-confidence. Shout out to my teachers, senior year English, shout out. But education is touched on, family issues and things like that are touched. So it's a wide range of things. So I feel like regardless of who you are, where you come from, there's something on this album you can relate to. And I just hope that particular song just helps you kind of navigate through whatever situation you might be in.
Yeah. At the end of the day, go get the album ASAP.
Yes.
Go get
buy it, then stream it, then tell somebody else to buy it.
Right. Stream it some more. And give it to somebody else, and then play it and just listen to it as you go to sleep. We need them streams to go up.
We need the streams to go up. I'm telling you, this is a great project, especially for 2020 and moving forward to the rest of your life. I'm telling you, this is an amazing project, great piece of art. And Kham, I truly believe that you really put your heart and your soul into this masterpiece. So huge congrats to you, my friend.
Thank you.
But thank you for hanging out with us here on M&M Live Radio. But before you go, give everyone your social media so that they can stay connected with you.
Yeah, so you can follow me everywhere: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at KHAM Raps, Kham Raps, on all social media platforms.
Listen, guys, make sure you guys go following Kham on all social media. And listen, man, we already talked about this whole project. Listen, you cannot listen to this interview, then not go listen to the album. Go listen to the album. It's called Problematic. It's on all digital music platforms.
Absolutely. And Kham, you know that we always have big love for you, big love for our bros at Culture Villains. You have our support, and huge, once again, congratulations on the release of Problematic. This is a big deal. Huge shout out to you, Kham.
CV the gang.
CV the gang is in the building on M&M Live Radio's podcast. But once again, thank you so much for being on the show. We'll talk to you soon. All right, bro?
For sure. Appreciate y'all again. Thank you.
Of course. Now to all of our listeners out there, please keep it where you got it, because you're about to hear that new heat from Kham right here, right now.
That's right. Here's new music from Kham's debut album, Problematic. Listen, jam to this one, and we'll be right back. You're listening to, you already know,
it's M&M Live Radio.